Yo guys, welcome back, and today I'm going to be talking about the cut content of Black Ops 3. If you enjoy, please like and subscribe, and yeah, let's get into it. So first we have weapons, as we always do. So we have the MCAS, which is a hybrid between an AR and SMG. We also have the robot gun, which is an AR that has a pink body but a KN-44's magazine. The Patriot, which was an AR which was in the pre-alpha build but was cut. The Chaser, which was a lock-on launcher, was also cut. The EMP launcher, which was it's not actually confirmed whether or not this was a specialist ability or a regular weapon. And finally, the Riot Shield, which was cut but is still loadable through console commands. Next, maps, where we have Zoo, which I don't believe is related to the BO1 map. Sentosa and Freighter. I mentioned these all three together because they're all set in Singapore. We also have Bypass, Confinement, Exile, and Training. Cut game modes now, where we have Sudden Death, Resistance, and Purgatory, which are only mentioned in the files and don't seem to have much information about them. Old School, which is in the mod tools, which was in some older COD games, hence the name. And finally Stockpile, which eventually became the mode Fracture. If you don't remember this, it was sort of like Grind, but you could only deposit at one position that kept moving every minute or so sort of like a hard point in a way. Cut specialist abilities now, where we have Bubble Shield, which created a bubble of protection for you and your team. Boomerang, which only has a few strings referring to it. I mean, I can kind of guess what this would have done, but, whatever. Cleanse, which clears status effects. Pulse, which would have highlighted enemies in the vicinity. Speed Burst, which gave you a speed boost, and finally Resurrect, which allows you to be resurrected after death. As I think you can tell, some of these were obviously just renamed or repurposed, and yeah. Anyway, perks now, where we have Hardline, which makes you end score streaks faster. Lightweight, which increased movement speed and made it so you took no fall damage. Toughness, which made you flinch less when being shot. Dexterity, which increased your sprint out speed and climbing speed. And finally, Marathon, which allowed you to sprint for longer. Next, the campaign, where there isn't actually that much, but it's quite interesting. So first, the campaign would have been open world, set in an apocalyptic dystopia with several large hub worlds to explore. After about a year of development, Treyarch scrapped this and started work on the current campaign that is in the game today. They reused a lot of the settings, story missions, and a lot of assets, so it's realistically just, I don't know, like the stepchild of the open world campaign, I guess. Also, in the Xbox 360 and PS3 versions of the game, the campaign actually is not there. However, it was meant to be in the game, as the mission Rise and Fall is still accessible in the game through modding, although it runs at a very slow frame rate and eventually crashes. Prior to making this video, I was always kind of curious the reason why there was no campaign. I just thought it was time, but obviously I must be wrong, so yeah, there you go. Zombies now, where we have difficulties. So in the pre-alpha build, there was originally meant to be 3 difficulties: Survivor, Hunter, and Exterminator. It would get harder in that order. Also in the pre-alpha build, there was also customizable outfits, which had been unlocked through XP. There is an alternative ammo type that was cut called Honey Business, which is theorized to have released bees that would have decapitated zombies. There were a few cut gobble gums, which include Brainiac, Center of Attention, Firestarter, Melee Master, and Toxic Vindicator. Now, we don't know for certain whether or not these were actually reused or fully cut. In the Files of Revelations, both the Shadow Man and Dr. Monty have lines as the demonic announcer, but go unused for some reason. And finally, there was one cut camo in the form of See Me, which, if I'm being honest, looks like it was made by a 6-year-old, so I can kind of see why it was cut. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below what you thought about the video, and yeah, bye.